Hey, what is up, guys? Flex Media here, bringing you yet another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, and I want to do something for you guys in this video. I want to go over every single unit that we will be getting on banners and free-to-play, of course, and this guy is actually, you know, kind of like spoilers ahead kind of thing, but it was kind of a big deal. When this guy came out, you know, as you can kind of tell from his leader skill, it just straight up looks a little incomplete, right? Like Key 2, 40% is very low for any leader skill. So it seemed pretty obvious that he was going to be Dokkan Awakening into an LR, which he does indeed. Now here's the thing. When we first get into the 5-year anniversary and all of these events open up, I would recommend, if you want to grind the LR, who we will go over, of course, if you want to grind his SA completely for free, you're going to need 3 copies of this guy. So you're going to need 1 copy at SA10, 1 copy at SA10, and Rainbowed, of course, and then you're going to want 1 copy at SA5. So this guy is Zamasu, Cherishing an Ideal World. We don't really need to go over him. You can technically like keep him as an SSR. He's just not all that good, you know what I mean? So Key 1, he is getting Key with each attack received, which isn't real relevant to a TUR, unless you just have shit for key links, you know. It doesn't really matter. So what I think I would like to do is, let's just go ahead and go over the LR. So here we go. This guy is actually crazy. I really like this unit. I do have him on the JP side of the game. I went through and did the full grind on the JP side of the game. So you're going to need, I believe it's 100 medals to awaken him, to Dokkan Awaken him to LR. But it's worth it. It is. So let's kind of go over him. This is pre-Extreme Z Awaken. Oh yeah, spoiler alert if you're not aware, this is the first LR that EZA's in the entire game. So this was a big deal, right? So, this is Goku. This is Zamasu Goku, excuse me. So this is right when he makes the wish from the Super Dragon Balls. And again, so let's just go ahead and go over his Extreme Z Awaken version. He is a Time Traveler's leader at Key 3, 100% to stats. He obviously has a 12 and 18 key super. His 12 key is going to cause colossal damage and lower attack and defense, so obviously very solid. And then on his 18 key, he's going to raise attack and defense for 1 turn and cause mega colossal damage to the enemy. So that is very good. I really like what this unit does and brings to the table, and mostly it's because of his passive skill. So let's go over it. Attack and defense 59%. Key 1 with each attack received, up to Key 6. So that's really big. So if you only get him a 12 key super, like let's just say you get him 12 key, and then he then gets attacked 6 times, he would then perform an 18 key super. So that's a big deal, right? And then he's going to launch an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack when facing 2 or more enemies, plus an additional attack and defense, plus 20%. With each final blow delivered, up to 59%. So this guy is going to be an absolute stud in all of the difficult events, especially if you can get those, you know, final blows. So all you have to do is do that 3 times. So if you were running the Legendary Goku event, you would have to, you know, clear out, you would have to kill, you know, 1 phase and then another phase and then 1 more phase to get this dude's full passive to activate. And then obviously on Super Battle Road, you're facing 2 or more enemies. That's going to be huge, right? So his links: Godly Power, Cold Judgment, Nightmare, Dismal Future, Fear and Faith, Shattering the Limit, and Legendary Power. He is, of course, on the Realm of Gods category. Patara, Future Saga, Dragon Ball Seekers, which is big for that team. Time Travelers, and Inhuman Deeds. So, oh, you gotta love that Inhuman Deeds, am I right? So this is Zamasu Goku. We do have a bunch of other units to go over, so let's kind of go to the other free-to-play units. Okay, so again, spoiler alert, spoilers ahead. But this guy, so again, when the anniversary first drops, he's going to just drop as an SSR, and then of course you can farm him up, and then again farm up one more copy to SA5 because our boy gets an easy A. So no sense in going over pre-Extreme Z Awakened. Let's just go ahead and go over the fully Extreme Z Awakened version of this kid, Broly, and Ba. I really like that they included Ba in the card. I know he's not technically in the card, but, you know, he's in the card, right? So that's always cool. So, Pure Saiyan's category leader at Key 3, 77% of stats. On his super attack, he's going to infinitely stack attack and defense, causing supreme damage to the enemy with a medium chance of stunning. So again, you know, long events, difficult events, he's going to be good. Being able to stun, stacking attack and defense, specifically what he's going to be very, very clutch for is his own Extreme Z area. So he's getting an easy A through the Extreme Z area. A very controversial point in the 5-year anniversary was there were no true easy A's in the 5-year anniversary. So only easy areas, and all 3 of these guys come from easy areas. So anyway, he stacks attack and defense, and he stuns. Going to be good for Super Battle Road. And then, of course, like I said, and then of course the actual Extreme Z area event. His passive skill, training to evade attacks, attack and defense 70%, disables enemies' guard, medium chance of evading enemies' attack, and delivering the final blow to recover 20% HP at the end of turn. So he's got the same thing that Fizz Hachiak does. Nice. So no, that would be helpful. Of course, like, I don't know. So like, for instance, in Super Battle Road or Boss Rush maybe, where you actually where there's actually more to do after you finish an enemy. So this dude's good. Links, Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, the Innocents, Prodigies, Tough as Nails, Prepared for Battle, and Shattering the Limit. So at the very least, he has Prepared for Battle, right? He can definitely get the Innocents. You know, you link him up with another Broly unit or something like that. Yeah, Pure Saiyans and Youth are his only categories, certainly limited by his categories. And then, so you can see right here, so Feb 10th. Well, we won't be getting it on Feb 10th, obviously, but that's when all of this came out. They get the Easy A's in part 2 of the anniversary. So we do have another Easy A unit that we need to go over, and guess what? He's free to play. So this is Fearless Planet Invasion, Vegeta Kid, and Raditz Kid. So first of their names, same thing with that Broly. So this, let's just, again, you know, the same thing applies to these guys as does the Broly. They're going to drop as just a Kid Vegeta, and then in the Dokkan Awakened version, you get Raditz in the card. So, they're a Joined Forces category leader at Key 3, and 77% of stats, or just Extreme Class, Key 3, 40% of stats. So again, going to be quite useful for their own Extreme Z area. They infinitely stack attack, cause supreme damage to the enemy, and lowers attack. Very nice. You know, you wish they stacked defense, but they're still good. We'll go over the rest. Attack and defense, 70%. Key 1 plus an additional attack and defense, 20%. And chance of performing a crit, plus 10%. Per Pure Saiyan's category ally. Attacking in the same turn. Launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack when your team has another Joined Forces category ally attacking in the same turn. Okay, so just to kind of put it out there, they would obviously work well with like LR Kale and Caulifla, right? Because you're going to activate both Pure Saiyans and Joined Forces. So if they are indeed in the same rotation, you have a chance of performing a critical hit up to an additional 20%, you know, because you're excluding yourself. And then you have a high chance, you launch an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack when your team has another Joined Forces category ally attacking in the same turn. So there you go. Ideally, or Broly and Paragus would obviously work as well. So obviously you're going to want to run them on Pure Saiyans and or Joined Forces. Their links: Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, Frieza's Army, Brutal Beatdown, Thirst for Conquest, PFB, Shattering the Limit. Their categories: Pure Saiyans, Joined Forces, Youth, and Terrifying Conquerors. So actually a few better teams. I actually would probably like them on that Terrifying Conquerors team. Next to Nappa and Vegeta, I think they'd probably link up pretty well, decently well. Yeah, they would for sure. So that would be a solid team for them, a solid Lincoln buddy. Remember, for JP, they were not around. Nappa and Vegeta, they were not in existence yet. So that would actually be a really legit rotation. If I ever pull Nappa and Vegeta, I'll definitely do that. So, again, a few more units to go over, but the free-to-plays are done. Let's move on to the big boys. Oh boy. Here we go. So now we're on to the big boys. This is LR Gogeta, the main attraction to the, obviously, LR Gogeta banner. So this is him in his untransformed version. Now, in both forms, he's going to share this. It's just going to be the same leader skill. Last Resort, which is an insane category, by the way. It's essentially Fusion and Potara combined with a bunch of other really badass units. Probably, I mean, it's legit. Like, people kind of forget about this category. It might be the best in the game. I mean, people talk about Realm of Gods, of course, and this guy is on Realm of Gods. So, I mean, it's obviously, like, it's close, though. I mean, you've got all the Potara units on here, again, all the Fusions. You've got, like, STR Cooler on this category. Like, it's really good. So, category key 3, 150 to stats. Very strong. And then, of course, oh yeah, by the way, Fusion as well, he's buffing. His super attack. And then this is all pre-transformed. We'll go over his transformed as well. Raises attack, causes colossal damage. Raises attack, causes mega colossal damage. Nothing spectacular there. You're not really going to be able to stack up his attack for too long pre-transformed. Because he transforms on turn 4. So his passive skill, ultimate power, attack and defense 70%, key 3, when attacking, launches an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack, high chance of evading enemy's attack as the third attacker in the turn, and then of course you transform when conditions are met. So, going to launch an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack. That is quite good. I believe that is a 25% chance. Let's check. You know, it usually says down there. It actually doesn't. Oh, yeah, no, it does. 25%. I was correct. So 25% chance of becoming a super attack. Very, very good. It could be better, I guess. But this card is very, very good is what I meant to say. And then even if you can run them in the third slot, that's probably the way to go if you're running them on, like, Super Battle Road. Because it's not as though they are weak defensively by any means before they transform, but they just become so much stronger, like infinitely stronger once they transform. So let's go ahead and go over the transformed version. Oh, here's our boy. God, this guy's going to look so good sitting in my box, man. Whew, boy. So, super attack. Raises attack and defense for 1 turn on his 12 key and causes colossal damage to the enemy. And then he's going to raise defense for 1 turn and cause mega colossal damage on his 18 key super. So, this is significant because you could potentially raise his defense 2 times in a turn. Very, very good. It just makes him stronger defensively than you would probably think. So, his passive skill, incredible power. Attack and defense 77% at the start of the turn. Key 5 launches an additional attack plus an additional attack and defense 7% with each attack performed, up to 77%. Whew. Attacks effective against all types as the first or second attacker in a turn. Launches an additional super attack and a high chance of evading enemy's attack as the third attacker in the turn. So the same deal, right? And gets an active skill, which just, again, just really puts them over the top as probably, and when I say they, I'm of course talking about Vegito and he. It really puts them over the top as, if not the best units, then at the very worst, the second and third best units in the game. They're so good. Fully built up, UI Goku can't compete with these guys. And it's because they can build up their attack and defense so high, and they're raising defense usually 2 times in a turn, so they become just monsters offensively, monsters defensively, and this guy's super effective against all types. So you'll notice that he's got that, he launches an additional super attack at a high chance as the third attacker in a turn, but when he's in the first 2 slots, he gets just an additional attack. So, yeah, here we go. Yeah, and attacks effective against all types. So there you go. He's going to automatically get that guaranteed additional normal. And then you could potentially, if you have potential system in him, get him that second super attack. So that's obviously very good. I would definitely recommend going... I would probably give him some additional equipment if I had, you know, my say. If I get a, you know, a +5 additional or something, I'll probably give it to him. So, he gets this monstrous active skill. And he greatly raises attack temporarily and causes ultimate damage to the enemy. And this can be activated when facing only one enemy whose HP is 50% or less, starting from the next attacking turn. So potentially you could get this on the very next turn after he transforms, which is, you know, very good. So you could get it, what, turn 6? That would be the earliest you could get this. So basically you're going to get this in the Legendary Goku event. And this is the same conditions as Vegito, by the way. So his links: Super Saiyan, Fused Fighter, Warrior Gods, Over in a Flash, Kamehameha, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. Categories: Fusion, Realm of Gods, Transformation Boost, Movie Heroes, Kamehameha, and Last Resort. And then just, you know, for reference, his links do change after he transforms, as most transforming units do. So he what does he move out? He loses out on Prepared for Battle. He gets Over in a Flash. Oh no, what is he? No, he gets Warrior Gods. That's what he gets. And then he gets Super Saiyan, of course. So he's very strong. Very, very strong. Very strong is an understatement for sure. So let's kind of go over Vegito, who is very similar. But let's go over Vegito. Our boy Vegito. So here he is. This is Vegito Blue. And again, he's basically the same. All of his passive, his transformation conditions, and essentially all of his links are the same. A little bit different. So Saiyan Warrior Race, Brainiacs, Power Bestowed by God, Over in a Flash, Fused Fighter, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. As you can see, no Prepared for Battle, which, you know, can be an issue early on in fights, but it's not that big of a deal because they're building up. Let's go to his Super Saiyan, God Super Saiyan. So he gets Ki 2. Yes, Ki 2 and launches an additional super attack. Yes. And then he's building up Ki as you go. So up to Ki 5, attack and defense 77%. So Ki is not going to be an issue for him. Except for maybe very, very early on. But he's giving himself 3 Ki at the beginning of turn pre-transformed. So, but his passive skill is a little bit different than Gogeta's, so we'll go over it. Attack and defense 77%. That's not different. Then he's getting Ki 2, launches in a guaranteed additional super attack, plus an additional Ki 1, attack and defense 7% with each attack performed, up to Ki 5, attack and defense 77%, as the first or second attacker in a turn. So the rest is the same. So they both get a guaranteed super attack in the 3rd slot, but this guy gets it in the first 2 slots as well. So it can make him a lot more viable defensively because he's getting that guaranteed additional super attack even at 55%, so with no dupes. So, and then of course his links: Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Power Bestowed by God, Over in a Flash, Fused Fighter, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. Realm of Gods, Batara, Future Saga, Transformation Boost, Time Travelers, Kamehameha, and Last Resort. So they're both insanely strong. Just crazy, crazy strong. So we do have quite a few more units to go over. I'm going to try and go a little faster here. So this unit is on the Gogeta banner, and it's going to start out as an STR Bardock, and then they're going to Dokkan Awaken and do Bardock and Guinea. So they are a Movie Heroes category leader at 120% to stats and Ki 3, or an STR type leader at Ki 3 and 70% to stats. So on their super attack, they're going to greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn, cause supreme damage to the enemy. Their passive skill: attack and defense 100%, pretty basic. Ki +3, plus an additional attack and defense 100% when there's an ally whose name includes Goku on the team, and that does not include Captain Ginyu and Goku Jr. So any Goku, so it's one of these deals where whose name includes. So it can be any Goku, and it could potentially be like a Goku and Vegeta unit. You know, like it could be any Goku, right? Goku and Arale, for instance, on the Movie Heroes team. Plus an additional attack 100% when there's a movie bosses category enemy. Plus an additional Ki 3 attack 100%. And performs a critical hit when there's an enemy whose name includes Frieza. Woo! So, they are very strong, particularly when you're up against a Frieza. But even a movie boss's unit, like, they're really good, dude. They're really strong. Plus, they get an active skill. Remove all ally status effects, and all allies attack 22% for 2 turns. And it can be activated when HP is 80% or less, starting from the 4th turn. So, you're talking about a separately calculated, like, how do I want to say? We'll just say separately calculated support buff. So kind of like LRB Pan, right? Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, Saiyan Pride, Cold Judgment, Prepared for Battle, Experienced Fighters, and Fierce Battle. And they are on Pure Saiyans, Joined Forces, Movie Heroes, and Goku's family. So they're obviously going to fit in well on all of those teams. So they are very strong, particularly as a support type unit. But as you can see, guys, they can hit crazy hard. So do not sleep on them. If you pull them, they are very good. Let's kind of go over the rest of these cards. So here we go. These guys are on the Vegito banner, and they are very good as well. Particularly, boy, can they hit hard. Mortal Pride, Super Saiyan Trunks, Future, and My Future. So remember, this is different than LR Trunks and My, because in LR Trunks and My, he's not Super Saiyan. So just to clear that up. They are a Joined Forces category leader. Key 3, 120 to stats, or AGL type Key 3 and 70% to stats. And on their super attack, they are going to greatly raise. A great raise is very good. Greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn, cause supreme damage to the enemy. And then their passive skill, attack and defense 100%. Key 3, plus an additional attack and defense 100% when there is an ally whose name includes Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan on the team, plus an additional attack 100% when there's a future Saga category enemy. So any Super Saiyan Blue unit, you're going to activate, attack and defense 100%. And they'll always have that Key 3. Yeah, Key 3 plus an additional attack and yes, okay, so you'll get Key 3 and then 100% additional attack and defense when you have a Super Saiyan Blue unit on the team, and then plus an additional attack 100% when there's a future Saga category enemy. So, and then here we go, plus an additional Key 3 attack 100% and performs a critical hit when there's an enemy whose name includes Zamasu or Goku Black. So, guys, they're, again, like, very specific. But if you get them in that very specific circumstance, they're going to hit like a monster truck. So their active skill also raises attack by 628% temporarily, and performs a critical hit, stuns enemy, halves own defense within the same turn, and can be activated when your team has an ally whose name includes Trunks Teen Future, Trunks Future, or My Future, attacking in the same turn, starting from the 3rd turn. So, for instance, any Team Trunks Future, like Time Traveler support, My, for instance, you guys get it, right? So, Lynx, Brainiacs, Cold Judgment, Courage, Dismal Future, Prepared for Battle, Solid Support, formerly known as Rival Duo, by the way, and then Fierce Battle. Categories: Future Saga, Time Travelers, Joined Forces, Last Resort, and Revenge. Boy, that's a mouthful. So they're very, very good. Again, if you get them all of their attack buffs, if you kind of start doing the math, they have over a 1,000% attack buff. It's bananas. They're really good. Really, really good. So, a couple more units to go over. Let's go ahead and do it. Okay, guys. So, we're on to the last 2. These are the LRs that come in part 2 of the anniversary. It's a top legendary summon banner. And this is LR, Broly, Chi-Lai, and Lemo. You gotta love that they gave Chi-Lai and Lemo a card. Honestly, like, they need their own individual cards. But needless to say, like, it's really nice that they included them. And I love that Broly's all beat up in card art. So this is after they go back to Vappa. So anyway, leader skill, movie bosses category Key 4, 130% to stats, or extreme Fizz type Key 4 and 100% to stats. Really interesting this unit is extreme. I wouldn't have thought that they would be. Broly's never really, like, yes, he is the primary antagonist, but it's kind of like making Jiren an extreme unit. So like, if you make Broly an extreme unit, you should have made Jiren an extreme unit, you know? And there are many, many examples of this in Dokkan, but I just wish they didn't need to be extreme. I guess it's okay. Extreme Fizz needed the buff. But their super attack greatly raises defense for 1 turn, causes colossal damage to the enemy and lowers attack. And then they are going to greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn and cause mega colossal damage to the enemy. So, very good that they're greatly raising defense in both on both super attacks. That's very good. It's going to make them very strong defensively. A great raise is a 50% raise. Now, their passive is a little wacky, so try to keep up here. Attack and defense 15% per key sphere obtained, plus an additional attack and defense 5% in key 2 per key sphere obtained with 2 or more Fizz key spheres obtained. So they're getting attack and defense, an additional attack and defense 5%, so attack and defense 20%, and then an additional 2 key per key sphere obtained with Fizz key spheres. All allies attack plus 39% with 2 or more AGL or STR key spheres. And then all allies defense plus 39% with tech or int. 2 or more tech or int key spheres obtained. And they can evade enemies' attack with 7 or more key spheres obtained. Which is harder to get than you'd think, believe it or not. Not that easy to get that 7 key spheres. It's almost as though they knew what they were doing, because it seems as though, you know, especially when you have like a rainbow orb changer, it seems as though you get 6 quite a bit. So it's going to be a little more rare than you would think to get that 100% chance to dodge, but it's still really good. It's a really nice thing that they have, and they're essentially a support unit, and you can kind of set up however you want it to be, right? If you want them to buff attack, then you get them AGL or STR. And then, of course, tech or int if you want them to buff defense. So, very nice. Their links: Brainiac, solid support, cold judgment, big bad bosses, shocking speed, nice, fierce battle, legendary power, and there are only 2 categories, unfortunately, movie bosses and joined forces. So, really interesting that they are a movie bosses leader. I did not really view Chi-Lai and Lemo to be movie bosses. But again, at least you gave him a card. I can't really complain too much. So let's check out our last boy, and he is a big boy indeed. So this is Proof of Power to Judge All Creation, Goku Black, Super Saiyan Rose. Now remember, we did just get the AGL Rose Easy A, so you could not run these guys on the same team. Unfortunately, I wish you could, because this guy could really use the key support. So, but he is a monster, so don't get it twisted. Future Saga category leader at key 4, 130% to stats. Extreme int type key 4 and 100% to stats. His super attack is the Holy Black Kamehameha. Greatly raises defense for 1 turn, causes colossal damage to the enemy. And then the Holy Light Grenade greatly raises defense for 1 turn, causes mega colossal damage. So again, very nice that he's getting a great raise in defense on both super attacks. Just makes him very good defensively. Okay, so his passive skill, Furious Trial, attack and defense 66%, plus an additional attack plus 6% per key meter bar, up to 120%, and then key 2 with each final blow delivered up to key 6. Recover 6% HP at the end of turn in which attack was received. So similarly to like AGL Metal Cooler. So not to just simply overlook this, this makes him hit insanely hard. Up to an additional 120% attack is a ton, like a shit ton, like a metric ton. This guy's one of those units that can hit 4, 5, 6 million on turn 1 and just completely just render the opponent dead. I mean, he just like one-shots everything. He's really, really strong. And of course, like on that Future Saga team, like you can get like LRB Pan and do some crazy stuff. She's obviously on the secondary part of Tech Trunks' leader skill, right? Anyway, he does also have an active skill, which you won't see too often, but it's a Rage mode, where he has a Scythe. So he rages, and it can be activated when HP is 66% or less, starting from the 6th turn from the start of battle, which is, you know, deep into events, right? You're essentially only going to see this on the Legendary Goku event, or, of course, the Infinite Dragon Ball History event, maybe, just maybe, in some select stages of Super Battle Road. But his links, Super Saiyan, Fear and Faith, Kamehameha, Dismal Future, Big Bad Bosses, which is big, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. His categories: Realm of Gods, Patara, Future Saga, Time Travelers, Kamehameha, Exploding Rage, and Inhuman Deeds. So guys, this is it. The full, just call it an encyclopedia of all the new units that are coming to Global Dokkan. I am very excited to, of course, get them all. I'm getting them all. I'm putting it out there in the universe now. I'm getting every last one of these units, and I am very excited for them to be in my box. If you will, pause. Slap a like for the 5-year anniversary, and especially if you made it this far in the video. I know it's a lengthy one. And of course, consider subscribing if you are new. I absolutely love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. It means a lot, and I will catch you in the next one. Later.